Tonight, from Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Tua Tagovailoa and the Miami Dolphins taking on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
We are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The Dolphins head out, led by the NFL's leading passer in 2023. Now in his fifth season, Tua Tagovailoa.
And he's coming off a great season where he put up career highs in yards and touchdowns, while also leading one of the most prolific scoring offenses in the NFL. The number one thing he did last season, though, staying healthy. When he's on the field, Miami can roll.
Throwing to start here is Tua. That's caught by the Notre Dame man. It's Durham Smythe. And he's going to be brought down right there after the catch at the 34. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Tua sets up to pass it. This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. The Dolphins at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
Tua to throw again. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. Throwing to start the drive. Allen into the hands of the tight end, Dalton Kincaid. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 2. Here's Allen to throw it. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. There are the numbers for Samuel from that game last week. 6 catches, 52 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
Now a guy who played his high school ball at Miami Central, it's James Cook. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 28. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Shakir hauls it in. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. This to the tight end, Kincaid. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And he's got it. Touchdown. Curtis Samuel, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bills take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
And Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And it's 7-0 Buffalo. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. Seven 0 is our score. Ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. You look at this Buffalo defense. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
So on 4th down, here's Jake Bailey to punt for the Dolphins. Back deep to return is KJ Hamler. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And this will be down just on the other side of midfield. So here come the Bills out for their second drive. Now, they were winners in the season opener Sunday. Now they get the quick turnaround game here on Thursday night. But, CD, you say this is an ideal setup for them. Why?
Well, it's just the way the schedule lines up because everyone's got to play a Thursday game, and that's because of competitive balance. So, let's face it, would you rather play week 2 when you're still relatively fresh and excited about the season? Or week 15 when you've had a season's worth of bumps and bruises to factor in, and who knows what your record might be at that time as well?
2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Allen. Man open, that's Marquez Valdes-Scantling. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Bills with a football as we start quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Allen off the play fake. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Walker charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Allen now looks to throw. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So on 4th down, off goes Allen. On comes Tyler Bass for the Buffalo field goal. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And that is no good. He hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. Well, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 55 yards. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. So here are the Bills to take over. They're leading right now and on the heels of that victory last week against Arizona. 1st and 10 as they start this drive. To throw, it's Allen. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Allen going to throw. Has his man, it's Shakir. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. This now a 3rd and 4. Now Allen. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Bills passing game, getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. 1st down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Allen's throw complete to Shakir. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely to pick up the catch. Not much yardage afterwards.
Here now, 2nd and 4. To the air, Allen. That's caught by Kincaid, working the middle of the field. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Now Allen. This will be caught at about the 6. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Allen. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best, getting that sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
3rd and goal and still a long way from the end zone. Here's Allen. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The kick by Bass is good. And they bump the lead up to 4 now at 10-6. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And the Dolphins with one final possession here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
2 and now on 1st down. High throw, but the catch is made. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Going to the air, Tagovailoa completes it to the tight end Smythe. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. 2nd down and a little more than a yard here. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But first, the NFL season is in full swing. Let's show the good folks what we've got in store for us later this weekend here in Week 2. As far as the early games go in that 1 o'clock window, we'll be focused on that game in Nashville. A big one for the Titans as they'll square off against the New York Jets. In the late afternoon games, it'll be loud in Kansas City, that's for sure, as it'll be the Chiefs taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. And finally, on Monday Night Football, it's the Falcons and Eagles from Philly at 8:15 Eastern Time. In the game you're watching, it was Josh Allen who was on target in that first half. His guys are out in front as we get you back down to Miami and Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back. Number 3. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Bills offense set to take over to begin quarter number 3. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Throwing now is Allen. Quick throw there is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down. Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Brought down by Ed Oliver.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a second down and 9. Looking to pass. Tua. Over the middle and complete to Waddle. Calling a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 3rd and 4 now.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Tua going to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. From the gun, it's Tua. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. That's to the new Dolphin. It's Odell Beckham Jr. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. Going right back to Beckham here, complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Here's Mostert. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Here's Tua. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Odell Beckham. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins have moved out in front here in the final minute of the 3rd quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but...
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. This time, the extra point up and good, and that gives them a 3-point lead. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And he'll wisely just take a knee here. This ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Coleman. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 44-yard line. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Dolphins are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit. Let them catch their breath.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Finding space at the 40. And all the way up to the 46. Tua to his Alabama teammate Waddle. First down, Miami. They'll set up a throw. Quick slant, Tyreek Hill with it. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone, and it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. 2nd and 10. A run with Mostert up the middle. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else. Ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right, and that will keep this a 3-point game. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this 4th quarter deficit. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Back to throw. Allen, that's caught. It's Coleman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Allen to the right side and intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And the Dolphins force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll look to Mostert to start things out. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Got to figure now after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this third down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the first down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Tua sets up to pass it. And that will be incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive court?
Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Walker. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
They've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 2 yards still to go. 3rd down now. They'll try and run here with Mostert. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the 2nd half. I think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and that will keep this a 3-point game. Allen and the Bills now down 13-10, 70 seconds remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on 1st down. Boy, a 3rd miss of the game right there. By rights, they could be high and dry right now, but instead, this is still a ball game.
And defensively here, you can't let this affect you. You've got to go out and do your job, not worry about someone else's.
And here's Allen. This taken in by Kincaid. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Allen. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. And he did exactly what they needed him to do, Charles. Got out of bounds. They have no timeouts.
And they knew that before the play even began. Still executed it. How many times have we seen it happen where you know it, yet a guy's still looking for a timeout or trying to stay in bounds? He got it done.
Well, plenty of time to work with here, but the timeouts, they're gone. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Here's Allen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big 3rd down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to tie things up in the final minute. The kick by Bass is good. And that will tie this game here in the final minute of play. So a big kick to get this back to even, yet now the worry is, did you leave too much time on the clock? Because another field goal the other way, that does you in.
You're exactly right. You didn't get it to overtime yet. So now as a defense, you've got to think to yourself, you can't play prevent defense and just give up big chunks of yardage in front of you, but you also can't let anyone behind you. So you sit right on the line between the two, play the best defense you can, and not make it easy for them to move the ball downfield.
And out come the Dolphins now. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked a special.
Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Bills are going to get the football here at their own 23. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Here's 2nd down and 3. To throw is Allen. Again, it's Cook. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So the Bills going to be the first to get it as we are back underway here in overtime. And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
We'll play only the one overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on 2nd down. Now Allen off the bootleg. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light still on for him.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Play action. Now it's Allen. Out to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. That was Jordan Poyer, the safety, in for the sack.
Safety blitz, such a fun play call to witness when it works. And the deep man can get home for a sack. Great timing by him. Interception earlier in this contest. Now a sack. He's definitely campaigning for Player of the Week honors, isn't he, partner?
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. On play action, Allen. That is incomplete.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Shakir hauls it in. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
A short gain that doesn't get him the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. A gigantic call there in overtime, but it pays off with a 1st down. Throwing is Allen. Completes it to Coleman. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward. And it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off. But in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
Allen hit. He lost the football. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 19. We hear them discuss red zone efficiency a lot, CD, and they almost gave that one up in the red zone. Luckily, they'll have another shot.
And you and I both know that every offensive coordinator, play caller in the league, they take particular delight in their red zone calls, because those are the payoff ones. But you can't call a play if your team doesn't have the ball. Got to secure it.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Allen. Out to the left, he's got his tight end, Knox.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Quick slant to Shakir. And the Bills are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Cook. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. As the fans exit back out through the turnstiles, not happy looks on their faces. Feel like they probably let this one slip away at home in overtime.
I would agree with that, and their unhappiness hurts the guys in the concession stands on the way out, right? Not stopping to buy something for the kids. They just want to get home. But what a dramatic way to finish this bad boy off. I mean, this game was dramatic all the way through. That's why we got to overtime. And then to go ahead and finish it this way,
The fans streaming out unhappy, but the team that came in here and won this one on the road, they sprinted to their locker room.
And speaking of buying things, dinner on you tonight, Davis.
I kind of figured that was coming.
So for the Bills, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From South Florida, good night, everybody.